Wish I could be part of that world.
Disney showing a first look at next year's remake of The Little Mermaid, starring Halle Bailey as Ariel. It's been watched nearly 20 million times already. Some of those views prompting reactions like this.
I think she's brown.
What?
She's black.
She's black.
She's black! She's black! Yes, 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 yes! Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Ariel's black! Mommy! She's brown like me, Mom.
What, baby?
She's brown like me.
Yeah, she's brown like you.
She's like me!
Right?
She's like me!
The pure joy on those faces gives me the chills. It's amazing. But of course, there are some people who aren't so happy about it. Forbes reporting the trailer has 1.5 million dislikes and racist comments from angry, quote-unquote, fans. One Twitter user even going so far as to use artificial intelligence to replace Bailey's face with an entirely different face of a white woman. This is why we can't have anything nice, by the way. And sadly, this isn't new. We've seen the racist anger over fictional characters in the last several years. This summer, actor John Boyega said he's finally at peace with the hate he faced when it was announced he would play a stormtrooper in the new Star Wars films back in 2020. The release of Amazon's new The Rings of Power series drew outrage from some fans who were angry at seeing diversity in Middle-earth. And I do feel like I have to point out to those naysayers that these characters, mermaids, stormtroopers, elves, hate to break it to you, they're fictional. They're not real. So the argument that diverse versions of them aren't realistic, I'm not buying it. But I do want to talk about all of this. So I'm glad to welcome in Chanel Janae, an entertainment writer for The Root. Chanel, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to first focus on the positive, though, right? I've got a little girl, she's 7 years old, and anytime she sees another Asian girl on TV or in a movie, she gets so excited. Truly, is there any better way to show that representation truly matters than those adorable videos of the little black girl seeing an Ariel who looks just like them?
There is no better way. And first off, Katie, thank you for having me. You know, them seeing themselves in those movies only solidifies and reaffirms the power of imagery. It allows little black girls and little girls of color and, you know, little boys of color to specifically think that if this regality, you know, talking about Halle Bailey, if this regality, if this innate beauty, this prestige, this admiration, this adoration, if that's possible and if that lies in wait for that person, then what overwhelmingly positive thing lies in wait for me?
So we've heard from other actors of color. They faced similar examples of hate. Chanel, what can be done about trying to curb, if not totally eliminate, this type of toxic fandom that's out there?
Well, you know, I'm not a Disney exec with inside knowledge or a strategist who could probably accurately advise on it. But I do think Disney needs to have a plan of action. I do think studios in general need to have a plan of action to preemptively denounce racism and harassment immediately following the announcement of these actors of color taking on these very prominent roles. And they also need to emphatically proclaim their support and their ongoing support for these actors who work very hard to get to where they are and who work very hard with their skills and talents to tell the best story as possible.
Chanel, I got less than a minute left, but I did want to follow up on that. I mean, the reality is these big blockbuster companies like Disney, for example, they're putting a lot of money and they're backing all of these actors. So what else could they do other than what you've already discussed so far to make sure that they're protected, that they're actors that they're putting out there that are forward-facing to the viewing audience, that they're protected maybe before the movies come out or even during the backlash?
Yeah, I think they need to, again, have a firm stance and make it very clear that hate and racism has no place in their fandom. Hate and racism are both illogical. They have no sense. There's no sense you can make of them. And so for, big studios like Disney and whoever else, they just need to make that abundantly clear that hate and racism has no place for them and it will never have a place, and their support will go to these brilliant and talented actors moving forward.
Chanel Janae, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we look forward to having you come back to talk about some of the other latest. But thanks again for being here.
Thank you.